Hello again, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Liffy. I got CJ with me, and we are casting the NLC Aurora Open for you guys. Summer 2022. Actually, it's rather more of a fall season by now, I think. Jesus, can you believe it's October already?
Yeah, last time I looked at the calendar it was May, so yeah, summer's gone quick and we're now into nearly winter, right?
Oh
Getting there
god,
anyway.
don't remind me. I got my complete
Christmas.
sweater on already. It's getting really damn cold here in Berlin. But hey, we got some hot games to keep us warm for the evening. We got Invulnerables Lotus versus Team Singularity next up, CJ. What are we expecting?
Yeah, I mean, obviously these are the two winners from from the first two games that we saw. We're expecting high things, they won their first two games against arguably the favourites out of them two teams, Nariki and Viperia were the favourites going into them games, so we're expecting high things, and this game will determine who will be on top. So yeah, for now, one team will end up on 2 wins, one team will end up on 1, and yeah, we'll have a clear first place team in the group, which is exciting to see. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Who is the top dog here in Group C? Who we are following here on this opening day of the Aurora Open. In general, we gotta look towards the top lane once again, I think, CJ, because we got Sips back on the case.
Yeah, Sips is someone who has played against Invul lots and lots of times. They've played in the Swedish leagues together in so many different tournaments, so there's a lot of history between Sips and Invul here. He's played on Falcon, who played against Invul in Winter Show, in TES, sorry. He's played against other rosters in Invul, so yeah, there's a lot of Swedish players on each side. I think there's 4 Swedish players on Invul, 3 Swedish players on Singularity, so a lot of like friend rivalries on these rosters as well. So friend rivalries, personal rivalries, top of the table rivalries. We've got a great match coming up, so yeah.
Oh, it's lovely. You love to have so much. You can't really call it stakes, but so much emotional investment into such a matchup. It just makes it so much better. And on top of that, we saw some fantastic games from both teams in their first matches of the day, right? Because in Vulnerable Lotus, they looked dominant against Viperio in the first matchup.
Yeah, it was very surprising actually. I don't think any of us expected Viperio to. Well, I don't think expected Invul to look so good and Viperio to look so not so impressive. So Invul getting off to a greater start than I probably even think they would expect. They were expecting. I assume they're going to say they were going to win, but they were dominant, right? So yeah,
Yes.
they're looking good.
Especially Slice on the Diana in the jungle looked absolutely solid. Do you think we might just see the Diana come in again, or will we probably change up the champions a little bit and maybe see actually some kind of respect bans coming in from Team Singularity?
Yeah, I think with this game being, Soft, who isn't a jungler, he's a coach, against Slice, who, as we saw last game, can be a huge carry. I think there might be some respect bans coming out, to just try and limit the potential jungle diff that's there. And jungle mid diff, we've got to remember Mercer, who's on the side of Singularity in the mid lane, is currently plat 100 LP, doesn't play the game too much anymore. So we've got a mid jungle on Singularity who one's a coach and one's plat. Obviously Mercer isn't a plat player, but yeah, he doesn't play the game too much anymore. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with the Singularity side. So I could see some respect bans coming in here.
Okay. Yeah, limit the champ pool might always be an angle. We'll find out momentarily. Just waiting for the game to start up, then we'll get into the champ select straight away. In the meantime, CJ, let's talk a little bit more about Maokai, because that's a champ that came almost out of nowhere in the past few weeks.
Yeah, it's I guess spurred by Worlds, it's been thrown into the stage where it can be in several different roles. If you put on the Worlds pick'ems that Maokai will be played in the most different roles, you're kind of cashing in already, right? Because we've seen him jungle, we've seen him support. Have we seen him top lane yet? I'm not too sure, but obviously he can play there as well.
I'd not be surprised if we see him there.
Yeah, so Maokai is, it's a safe pick, it's a strong pick, and you've got reliable root, reliable engage. The ult's very strong, used for zoning and stuff like that. So I can definitely see why it's being picked, and it's been used to good effect. Like we've seen good plays with it. We've seen good wins with it. We've seen good picks in early games, especially today. So yeah, I could easily see Soft pick it up again.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of my more favorite champions to watch. Just as like a really fun old school tree champ. You love to see that one. But hey, long talk, short sense, as we Germans like to say. We are on to draft, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Team Singularity versus Invulnerables Lotus. The bands, well, they're taking their sweet time for the moment, but I'd see definitely the Draven band come in against Lernar.
Yeah, and obviously Lon not dying in his first game of Misfortune. Maybe this is a bit of a respect ban. He put up a great performance, so yeah, I can see why that's banned. And Gangplank on the other side, we know Sips can be a menace in the top lane. So yeah, understandable why we're seeing that.
And the top lane bans just continue on, right? We got Aatrox once again banned out, not a single game so far today where he slipped through the net, so to say, and put a Caitlyn into the mix here as well. Perma banned the whole day as well, so you can see the world's meta kind of swooping
The
in
Maokai's
and
gone.
over. Maokai is gone. Tree chop down once again. Also, not a big surprise.
Yeah, and seeing Talia banned on the side of Singularity here. Clearly watched Lofty last time, and it looks like we're going to see another Misfortune. Shock horror on the side of Singularity this side rather than Invul.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you have the MF, why not just blue one pick her? She is so good at the moment.
Has she lost today yet?
With that ult. That's a good question. I don't remember. It's gonna be an Ashe on the other side of the equation, though. Interesting. I like it.
Yeah, obviously not a champion we see too much anymore, but yeah, could be support, could be AD carry. We'll see. I don't put anything past Invul, so.
Absolutely. Solid late game carry potential as well, right? So much sustained damage that you can put out on the Ashe. It's once again a Graves, the second one today. The first one did not go well for Rayon. But hey, maybe Slice can pull a game out that it looks a little bit better. On the other side, it's another Jarvan potentially locked in. Would mean they're gravitating towards another team fight wombo combo, get everything grouped up and just murder it with the bullet time. And hey, Amumu is open. You could just lock that in for yourself here.
Very true, very true. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the Amumu Misfortune again. And like Graves on the side of Invul, obviously Slice showing he's a very dominant jungler and he could really do some damage to this. I'll be curious if we see a Karma here. Okay. Not going for the Amumu.
I like the Karma to an extent as well, right? Doesn't really offer the same sort of engage CC that an Amumu brings to the table, but still has a lot of impact in terms of speed ups for the MF, peel potential, and of course poke in lane, which these two are definitely going to look towards in the early game, just putting the pressure and the pain onto the Ashe. And it is actually going to be a Leona locked in for that. So engage fighting power versus poke on the bot lane. Interesting choice.
It's a very old school bot lane, this Ashe Leona, isn't it? You see this? You know, two champions been around for a long time. Standard lane, I like it. I like the I always like a good Ashe ult, so yeah.
Cross map enchanted crystal arrows, yeah, I can dig that. Mercer's Victor though, banned out.
Yeah, clearly saw his last game. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Mercer picks here. Lofty, a player that's been playing for quite a while, has played splits and splits and splits since around 2020. So he's got to feel confident in this matchup. But we're seeing a Darius ban here. We could see another Olaf. We'll see about that one. But yeah.
I mean, Champe did give us a little bit of an example of how to deal with this Olaf, but for the moment, it's a little bit more about, well, what other angles are there for Invulnerables to kind of get in this game and get rolling? You already have the Ashe. Where does this comp go in general? That's the big question. Silas banned out. Speaks a little bit towards strong ultimate. Maybe we can see an Azir mid lane here.
Yeah, I think the Jarvan and the Jarvan ult might, sway Invul away from the Olaf a bit. If Jarvan ult, if Jarvan ult's Olaf, he's kind of screwed. But we see it banned out anyway, so yeah.
Akali locked in. Oh, I love it. Flex pick can both go top and mid lane, but that also explains the Silas ban. So I like it a lot. A lot.
Yeah, this could go anyway. I'd play Shyvana. This is surely a hover, right? Oh, no, it's not.
Okay. Oh, this draft is getting off the rails, CJ. I like it. Oh, I like it so much. This is fantastic.
You know, there's nothing more than I hate than an AP Shyvana in solo queue. Nothing more.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I mean, I mean, it's probably going to be Sips on the Shyvana, right? Top
Yeah,
lane.
yeah.
I'm expecting a little bit more of a tank AD angle frontliner Shyvana, but maybe
I
it's
see a Vayne.
more towards. Oh, oh no!
He's done
Is
it.
that the Vayne top counter pick into the Shyvana?
What can I say?
No
Zanti does
way.
it again.
No way that is actually happening. That's
Okay, well,
insane.
yeah, this is going to be a crazy game. We have Shyvana, Vayne in the top lane. I think top lane's obviously been the theme of the day so far with the players that we've got and the champs we've had picked, but this is going to be something special, and this is something I definitely think we were both not expecting. So yeah.
Yeah. We've seen an insane performance from Sips in his first game already, right? The Camille just completely steamrolling the enemy team. On the other side, Zanti on the Olaf against Champé's Jace looked really, really good in the early stages of the game until, of course, the Jace kind of ran away with the whole lane, basically. But that's just Jace things. Now, with a Vayne in their hands, this looks like a skirmishy pick comp that Invulnerables are running versus the kind of teamfight mayhem Singularity is looking to unleash.
Yeah, and I do think Invul they've been clever with this. You know, Vayne has the tumble that can get out of the Jarvanut. We have Graves with the dash that can get out of Jarvanut. We have a Carly that can get out of it as well. We have all these champions that can, you know, get out of that engage. But, you know,
And then there's
as we've
Fiona.
seen... Yeah, and then this Leona who just stands there and pops a W. But as we know, obviously, Misfortune and Jarvan, if they do get that combo, it can be very, very dangerous. And Singularity will look to do that, so yeah.
Hell yeah. How that whole thing is gonna go? That's a question we'll answer right now. We'll jump into the Rift for the fourth match of the day already, right? Fourth match? Third match?
4 out of 6. 4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. I mean, in terms of rating, that's average at best, but I think this game is gonna be a top-tier banger. So, on towards the Rift, Singularity versus Invulnerables Lotus. And I am so here for it.
Yeah, and we'll see if there's any, you know, crazy shenanigans level 1, but, you know, I think with a Vayne and a Shyvana top lane, they'll maybe just want to chill, but especially the Shyvana. But yeah, we see a Ghost on the Vayne. Vayne top with Ghost is something that hopefully doesn't work out because I don't want to see this in my solo queue games. But yeah, and we've got a Ghost on Ashe as well, which is interesting.
To be fair, Vayne top has been around basically since the champ release.
A 2-1, so. Yeah, a 2-1.
It's a great one. Actually, has
have a Kit Kat as well.
Yeah, I could go for some chocolate, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I tried a Cool Breeze or Cool Mint Kit Kat at NLC finals, and it was very nice. So I'd recommend it. I'm also not sponsored. Yeah, it was Cool Breeze. It was mint. It was very nice actually. So shout out to Kit Kat for that one.
I was about to say mint and chocolate seems really really weird. Then I remember after 8, and I really enjoy those. So there we go.
Yeah.
Mint Kit Kats. That's where we are. And we're also at an Akali Ahri matchup in the mid lane. How do you think this lane is going to go?
I think Lofty will look to really... Oh. No, never mind. Nothing from that. I think Lofty will look to try and prove and really put on a performance, especially before level 6. He does have that TP, so he can, you know, take advantage of it, pushing a bit further, maybe take a bit more damage knowing that he can teleport back. So yeah, obviously Mercer on the cleanse for now. Obviously can change later on, so yeah, I'd like to see Lofty really push himself in this mid lane. But I think the focus is going to be towards the jungle with Graves, taking the Dark Harvest as well, and the top lane, which I'm hoping to see a lot of action from. But yeah.
Action is the right word. But not for the bot lane. There, it's only Person putting on pain onto Leonard and Marcusa. Quite honestly, not surprising. Karma MF is just gonna do nothing else for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, Karma just Qs and Qs and then R and then Qs and then Qs. So easily pushing the wave. I think that's something we're going to see for quite a while. Obviously, once Leona hits them levels and start to fight, we'll see. But with the cleanse on the side of Spike, won't see too much action from that side, I believe. Just trying to blow that cleanse maybe once every often, and when the next Drake comes up, maybe try for it then. But yeah.
Sips still trying to go for some trades. But other than that, Xanthi, the range advantage is just so rough to deal with for the Shyvana, at least until you have that ult on level 6. And even then, it's very much an all-in scenario. Once you pop that dragon form, it's going to be rough to deal with. Press the attack to at least improve the trade windows of Shyvana a little bit. Thanks to your Twin Bite, you get to proc that really easily. But apart from that, we gotta look at the jungle, as you already mentioned, right? Jarvan with very, very strong ganks in the early. So far, Softorius not really in the position, though, to kind of attack anyone.
Yeah, he's obviously didn't get his Maokai this time, so we'll see if he can capitalize on anything there. But Slice with the Dark Harvest on Graves, definitely looking to... Oh, they got
Charm connects and the lockdown as well. Flag and drag. Slice taken down to 200 HP already. Gets to walk away from it, even keeps his flash.
Yeah, seeing some early action here. Very nice charm from Mercer. We know he can do it. He's proven once again that he can, find them picks and find them abilities when he needs to. Lofty just chilling and doing his thing. But yeah, it's interesting to see Softorius, number 1 in the jungle and number 2 perform here. Singularity's sub-jungle, actually, fun fact, is an ex-jungler for Invul. So there's another little storyline for you.
Well,
maybe, yeah, choosing not to use him, obviously choosing to use their coach instead. But maybe the sub-jungler has given some insight on how to beat Invul to Softorius. So yeah.
Last time they was but the pupil. Now he is.
Indeed.
Also, they have a ward in that lane, so they're definitely going to be aware of Slice sitting on the top side. So Sips standing back for a moment, just playing it safe. Softorius hovering around because, quite honestly, the Shyvana is reasonably low. Might be risking a dive otherwise. But for the moment, things are just carrying on as usual, right? Ashe and Leona don't get to play the game. Graves just farming. And Akali and Ahri both really not getting to make any plays. Once those mid laners hit level 6, it's going to be very interesting though, as Sips finds Xanthi, delays the recall by quite a while, and that might give him enough time to crash this wave into the turret.
Yeah, and obviously Xanthi has the Ghost, doesn't have the TP, so that could be a bit detrimental in this lane, especially in situations like this. Invul bot lane just doing Gromp casually, because they know that Slice on the top side. And yeah, it's been a quiet first part of the game so far, not too much action. Both junglers seeming to, besides that one little pick on Slice, just take it a bit easy. Invul obviously not being able to do too much in the bot lane against this lane because it's misfortune and karma. But we'll see what happens when they hit 6. Obviously the Ashe ult and the Leona ult can be a very, very nice combo. The Ashe ult not just in the bot lane, you can see that mid lane as well. And I can definitely see a little collapse coming in. Maybe the Ashe ult into mid lane from downtown, into the Graves, and that Akali just blowing up Mercer in the mid lane. So we'll see if something like that can happen. But Mercer has a flash and an ult as well to get away if he has a nice reaction time. So yeah, we'll test his hands.
On top of that, he's running the spellbook as well, right? So for the later stages of the game, you can swap over to an exhaust if that TP is on cooldown. Gives you quite the advantage, or at least a fighting chance, I'd almost say, against this Akali, depending on how well Lofty gets into the game.
Yeah, we could see something bot in here. Slice is hovering, but also Soft is there as well. We've seen the 2 mid lanes rotate as well. And Lofty's about to find Softorius as well. Kind of posturing around this Drake, sorry. Yeah, there's Crab being picked up by the side of Singularity. Not much going to happen there.
Oh, there's the dragon. There's the all-in. Sips looking for a little bit of a fight, but Xanthi popping the final hour as well, trading back some solid damage. So these 2 top laners for the moment going fairly even. The next Flame Breath misses though, and with that, Xanthi is going to win the upper hand for the moment. Sips still has the dragon form. There's a lot of damage to gank on the bot lane. In the meantime, First Blood picked up on the top side. Softorius coming in with the flag and drag, but it's the Leona going deep underneath the turret. The root finally connects as Marcusa takes a lot of punishment, but in the end, no one really has the damage. There's the Spirit Rushing. Merza trying to connect one last jump. He gets the reset. Connects the charm, but can't connect more. It's 2 kills for nothing for Singularity.
Yeah, he missed it in the top lane, but Sips does pick up that 1v1 against Xanti. First blood going over to him on the Shyvana. Noticing he picks up the armor boots as well before that fight, and now picks up the yeah, even more armor basically. He's picking up the cloth armor as well. So yeah, just looking to mitigate this Vayne as much as he can in lane, and obviously with having a Graves as well, who can turn into so much of a carry, looking to mitigate that one as well. But yeah, good start by Singularity.
Really, really well played. Once again, Sips showing his prowess in the top side. And Xanti...
Oh, the ult!
The arrow is beautiful! Oh, the charm lands as well. The kill lands. Merza with the god tier reactions. That was so well played.
That was better than a Plat 1 cleanse. That was a better... Well, yeah, that was a good cleanse.
The Plat 1 cleanse. I like it. I like it.
Team rotations up the top as well, maybe for this Herald. Marcus is up there, and Lofty's going up there. They know Sips doesn't have flash because of that last fight, so maybe they can capitalise on that, but Softorios is up there already, so probably not too much, just going to pick up the Herald.
He has ult again though, so this Shyvana is still very, very dangerous. Merza will have the Spirit Rush available in a little bit as well. The big problem is that Marcusa is around, so definite number advantage for Invulnerables at the moment, but
they could get collapsed on here.
Yeah, Singularity does want to fight this. Oh, the Dragon's Rage out. Oh, the wombo combo. Everyone in the pit, and the damage connects everyone. Burning and dying. 100 HP. That's the combined number all 4 of them had. It's quick 4 kills for 1 for Singularity. And an absolute nightmare scenario for Invulnerables.
Yeah, Soft also, once again, being the main point of these team fights, picking up a crazy Jarvan onto 4 members there, really just putting his team in a position to win. And yeah, he's really showing up even though he's not actually a jungler.
I love how this game is going. This is such a well-executed early game by Singularity.
It's 3k gold lead as well, 10 minutes.
Yeah. Just the perfect answers to everything Invulnerables is trying. Sips once again with an insane performance on the top lane, literally moving stones for his team.
Yeah, we spoke about it in game 1 between Singularity and Ricky. These players are really looking to show why they should be picked up in these Division 1 teams, you know, these Division 2 teams even for some of the Invul players. So yeah, they're trying to put on a performance not just for themselves but also for their teams, and Sips is doing it for both right now. He's really showing up.
Sips looking absolutely solid. 3-0-2, the Frostfire Gauntlet completed. Ahead in CS as well. This is going to be rough for Xanti to deal with. But of course, once that Blade of the Ruined King is completed for the Vayne, it's going to take a little bit of a turn, but that might take a little bit of time. And who knows what Singularity can do once we get there. Next things, obviously, to look at would be the first dragon of the game, which is a Hextech one. The Herald was ultimately not taken by either team after that massive fight, but that might be on the list right after this dragon.
Yeah, they're just going to pick it up for free here, obviously. They have a big lead, they have the bot lane pushing up, which is very easy for them as well. So, yeah, it's not the best start for Invul here. I'm looking to prove themselves they're a top 2 team, but Invul are back on this Herald after last time it didn't go too well. They're out of there again, so yeah. And Sips has a potentially a little vendetta against Invul as well. The last time they played each other in a split, Sips actually lost both games to Invul, and it cost, well, he was part of the team that lost both games, and it actually cost them playoffs. They missed out on playoffs by 1 game. So yeah, maybe he's still a bit angry at Invul for letting himself miss out on playoffs. So yeah.
A little bit of a grudge match, huh?
Yeah.
Fire in his belly. Yeah, you can tell. You definitely can tell. 3-0-2. This man is a monster at the moment.
Yeah, Merza having a great game once again as well. He's all of his fans are in the chat. Obviously, he has a lot of fans that just tune in just for him. So he likes to put on a show, and he's doing it once again here. Sips could be on something here as well. Oh.
Fire Breath connects, got some good chunk on to Xanthi, but nothing really happening with it. Sips definitely happy with just putting some pressure onto the Vayne, pushing the wave out, and kind of sitting chill in his top lane.
Yeah,
we gotta come back to the other side of the map as well, right? Because if we look at the ADCs at the moment, Kraken Slayers on both sides, and after that initial poke, Lurna are definitely able to recover quite nicely.
Yeah, he's got the 4 Kraken Slayer, no boots right now, but yeah, he's not too far behind. The gold probably is around even. Obviously, the about 10 CS in the favor of Singularity and an assist, but not too much difference. Both same level. Oh, sorry, one was 1 level behind, should I say? But yeah, looking for some engages around the Ashe and the Invulnerables, which are going to be very important into these team fights. Oh, and
another jump in. Sips looks for the fight. Xanthi has the final hour though. This Shyvana is very, very low. The Fire Breath once again connects. Such a nasty, nasty ability. Yep. Third first blood picked up in the bot lane. All around. Singularity very, very happy with his result. 4,500 gold lead by minute 14. That's a number.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a big number. Yeah, they're doing what they came here to do, and they're showing up. I think a lot of people had some reservations about this roster. You know, Soft and Mercer not full-time players, and this roster went Singularity went 2-16 in the regular season of NLC. The split before that, they also went 2-16 with some of the same players. So over 2022, they've gone 4-32 in the NLC. So some people might have thought it would go a bit worse than this, but they're showing people that, you know, even though they might not have been at the top of the NLC, they're still better than some of the Division 3 and Division 2 teams. So, yeah.
It's always the big discussion around these things as well, right? Like, how good are Div 2 teams? How close are they to Div 1? And usually you might think, based on the performance Div 2 teams are showing against, the teams in their own league, that they should be pretty close. Usually it's quite the step up if you look at Div 1.
Yeah, I think we've seen that in previous seasons. Div 2 and Div 1 are a big gap, but yeah, obviously, not engage here, but not too much going to happen for it. Yes, obviously, Singularity did get relegated by one of their Division 2 counterparts in this relegation series that happened a few weeks ago.
Yeah. That did happen. It's unfortunate, but of course something you have to deal with.
Yeah, and this might some of these players might stay around in Singularity in Division 2. You know, if Singularity decide to keep some of them players, and some of the players have been happy to stay on this roster, then they could have a good time in Division 2. You know, we know Sips is, as he's showing, a Division 1 player. So yeah, we could see a fight up here though, 3v3.
Yep, nice collapse in though by Slice and Marcusa, trying to make sure this Akali actually gets away. Nice shuriken flip out of the charm as well. Barely gets away from the re-engage, so to say, but this turret is not for much longer. Should be falling with the next minion wave if Singularity was pushing for it. For the moment, they're very happy just recalling, shopping, and prepping for that Drake.
15 seconds. They've all recalled. There's not too much vision around the Drake for both teams here. Xanthi picking up the crab, I believe, but yep, as we can see, literally no vision around it for anyone. So totally blind right now for both teams. So probably not what both teams wanted, but we'll see how it plays out. We see Singularity are going to have the push, so they're going to push out the mid lane, take control of the river, and just go straight onto it. It looks like Invul are just going to leave it.
To be fair, you're not really in a position to fight this team at the moment, right? 4k gold down, Hextech Dragon already in their backs, and it's just rough to deal with. If you fight now, it's a second dragon. It's not even a soul point, right? Yeah, Ashhold connects. Marcusa doesn't want to go in on it though, so just a little bit of a pokey arrow. Nothing really happening off of it. Sips though on the top side. Still has the ult. This turret might just instantly die. Yep, the Shyvana looking for a fight. Perfect execution. Already popped though. Lofty trying to get back in. The Shuriken is on. He could just dash after, and here we go. Oh! Gets annihilated. Jumps right into the stretched out fist of Sips. The Solar Flare is gonna come in. Oh, the Ignite Flash forward. That's enough damage. Slice gets away with his life, and a big shutdown on the enemy top laner. And there you have the Demonic Embrace as well. So it's a tank AP Shyvana, as you were hoping for.
Yeah, this is really hurting my soul right now, especially the fact that she's 4-on-1 right now. So, yeah, Invul really struggling to just control Sips in the top lane, not even being able to 1v2. Lofty went flying in there. He went flying halfway across the map, and it gave Sips time to just do what he needed to do.
You know, the AP Shyvana might be hurting you. You want to know what's hurting me?
Go for it.
What I think might end up being a Titanic Hydra on the Vayne.
Okay, that is quite painful.
I mean, I can get where it's coming from, and I can totally understand if it's actually the current build and pretty good. I just personally hate it. Especially on the other side, you have a Warden's Mail and a Sunfire picked up on Sartorius, as well as a Everfrost on Merza. We already talked about the Kraken Slayers on both the ADCs. The Shurelia's finished for Pearson as well. All in all, Singularity just looking very, very solid on the items. On the other side of Invulnerables, they're just trying to play catch-up at the moment, but jungle control more and more going towards Singularity.
Yeah, I think Invul are really just trying to get to that late game where, you know, Xanthi can actually do something on this Vayne, because at the moment he's just tickling people with his abilities. But Herald will be picked up by Singularity again here. We'll see what they can do with that. Invul's still yet to pick up a turret, you know, anything like that. No Drakes, no turrets, only 2 kills. So they're really in trouble time right now.
So far, so good. Gold lead.
Xanthi might get dived here.
Might be, yeah. Still has the backup of his team, Slice. Doing his best to kind of keep them at bay, and should be enough to at least prevent the dive, but still this turret is going to get shanked out in no time. Marcusa now walking up to make something happen. Solar Flare goes wide. Smoke Screen also does connect. Beautiful cleanse on the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but still, Xanthi trying to stick to Merza. Titanic Hydra now completed this Vayne, slowly but surely entering the game, but it might just be too late.
Singularity really want the spot lane turret, it seems. They are really desperate for it.
Hey, I mean, if I was Singularity, I'd want this turret as well. It's a very nice turret. It's worth a lot of gold.
It is, very true, and they do get it for their troubles. So, yeah, they're just pushing Invul out of the way right now. They might actually push up and try and get another one, but no, they're just going to back off. 1 minute 20 till the Drake. They're going to want to ward up, which they already have. Back off. Wait for Invul to push out, then ward up again, and then they can just go and take that dragon, hopefully for free. They've already got 2 of them, so Invul don't necessarily need to go for this one, but if they don't go for this one, they'll definitely have to fight for the next one after that. So
Herald dropped on the top side as well, so that tier 2 almost a goner on top of the 2 that fell in mid, and bot lane in general, the map blown wide open by Singularity here, so easy access to the enemy jungle all year around, and that's not gonna make it any easier for Invulnerable Lotus to just get any map control going.
Yeah, and for everyone in chat, Singularity versus Invulnerables, 21 minutes in, who is going to take this game? We currently have a 6,000 gold lead for Singularity, but is there any Invulnerable Lotus stands in the chat? Or is it all Singularity? Let us know as we see a fight.
Yep, Slice almost taken down. There's the Cataclysm, and Merza diving on in. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow on the bad side. Iskuto and Lana can get in on it with the damage, but here comes Sips. Double kill already for the Akali, but the Shyvana is just a little bit too massive. The last one standing for the moment is Xanthi, and he has more than enough damage to take down the Ashe. Sips needs to run for the hills, because this Vayne is just chunking him out. The Rage Knife, more than enough, and Invulnerables Lotus find the fight back in the game.
What a fight. What a fight from Akali there. That was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
That was absolutely disgusting. I'll be very honest, I completely missed what happened with Lofty.
He managed to basically get his ult, one proc, and then flew over, got his ult in, I think it threw 2 people. Loads of damage down, and literally one shot 2 people at once. So getting a lot of damage. Also split up the team with that engage as well. So yeah, huge engagement.
Impressive fighting, and that begs to ask
and the bounty as well.
Question, right? You just denied the soul point of the Singularity. You want to fight while being 8k gold down? Where's this game gonna go from here? How strong is Lotus really?
Oh, well, that could be caught there actually.
Oh, Plenar all by himself. Nice flash on to the charm. But it's more than enough damage to take the Ashe out. Slice now by himself as well. Has to flash. Beautiful Sonar Flare for the peels. And here comes Lofty. Can they get the re-engaged? The Zenith Blade lands. And here comes Sibs. Marcusa all by himself. Little bit of miscommunication going on. And they get punished for it hard after the one fight. Invulnerables already back on the ropes.
Yeah, they're still pushing forward though. They might get caught out if they're not careful. But Singularity posturing for the Baron. They could start this and they are going to start this.
Oh, that's a
Slice
risky.
does have a level lead. Slice has a level lead here, so it could be stolen.
Yeah, Santi also has the Rage Blade completed now. And here goes Sibs over the wall into the group and down with the Vayne. Slice is the last one standing before it's all on Lofty. And he's trying to make anything work. One kill, get the second one, blows Spike to smithereens. Beautifully done by Lofty. It's 2 kills to deny the Baron.
Yeah, it's going to stop the Baron, and by the time that happened, Lona and Marcusa are back up in the bottom lane, so Singularity can't do anything here. They're keeping themselves in the game here, Invul, by just purely just out teamfighting.
It's dirty, it's scrappy, but it is working. And that's what's needed to be done for Invulnerables here at the moment. 6k gold down. At least they denied the Dragon. They delayed the Baron long enough to regroup. And hey, they got some gold out of it, so now a stopwatch in the pockets of Lofty. He can do even more in the next fights.
Definitely, and Zanti, the longer this game goes on, the stronger he's going to get. He's 4 levels away from level 18. You'll be very sad if you look at his build, but on the other side, Shyvana has picked up a Warmog's armor on the side of Shyvana as well, so yeah.
Yeah, that's a very beefy dragon. The problem is, once Xantic actually completes the Blade of the Ruined King,
that will not matter.
He is gonna devour Sibs.
Yeah, and they've seen Lofty and Co on the bot lane here. They're just gonna go straight for the Baron.
TP will be popped towards the top lane, but the Baron already down to have Slice over the wall. Still can go into the pit for his steal. Sibs in the mid lane, there's the flank, the arrow goes wide, but still Xanti on the left flank can tear through everyone. They pick up the first, and one by one, it is gonna be Singularity who fall. Lofty trying to just make some space to make this work. Oh, it's the bait in! It's the bait in! Sibs is the biggest and juiciest dragon you could have ever imagined. And it is Spike with the bullet time that completely turns the fight. Slice over the wall, but Lofty already down to 10 HP. Can he get away from this? The obvious answer is no. Slice also trying to regain any health on the Grom, back up to half, but Sibs right on his tail. It is pure chaos in this matchup, but somehow one side after the other, back and forth the punches go. Slice might actually make it out, looking for the re-engage. Beautiful attempt, but it is completely in vain.
That could be Baron gone.
It might just be. Very interesting for Slice to go back in there. I think he was out.
Yeah, I think he was out as well. I'm not sure why he went for that. Lofty doesn't have TP, he's up in 5 seconds, but it looks like the Baron's going to be gone. Little mess up from Invul there. They're heading towards the Drake by the looks of it. Marcusa going there to get vision. They're just going to maybe try and pick up the second one. Try to pick up the soul. But yeah, even more gold over to Singularity after that.
Looking really, really solid. 8k gold ahead. Roughly 2 Drakes in their pockets. The third one spawning in 30 seconds. And with a Master Card Baron power play set up in just a second, they should be more than able to crack the base open properly. Most of the turrets are gone. The only tier 2 left standing is top.
So, Invul are finding that they're looking good. There's glimpses of like really good team fighting, but unfortunately they overextend a bit like they did in the last fight, and it just doesn't go too well in the end. But Lofty's pushing up the top lane. Other members pushing out mid lane, trying to push out mid anyway. But yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of they are both giving each other a finger and taking an arm every time something happens.
Yeah.
And so far, well, Singularity just, after a strong early, just continues to have the ultimate advantage after all these plays. And Invulnerables, well, they've definitely shown that they have the fighting power, especially now that Xanthi is getting into this game more and more, right?
Yeah, 28 minutes, and Invul just picks up their first turret in the top lane. It was a bounty onto Lofty as well. So
yeah.
So yeah,
still,
it's a game of waiting for Invul. They need to get Xanthi onto items. They need to get the Graves onto items as well. But unfortunately, with Singularity picking up that third Drake,
yeah,
they've kind of put the game on a timer that they have to fight in 4 minutes.
4 minutes is a hell of a long time, though, to get some farm, to get some gold. That should be another completed item for the Vayne. We have 3 items on Lofty now as well, with the Zhonya's completed, 2 items on Lenar, Kraken Slayer, and the Blade of the Rune King. So they have some serious DPS. They just need to find the fights. And there's the arrow landing onto Sips. The bullet time, more than enough damage. The Leona going hard on that one, gets punished for it. And Lofty trying to make anything work. He's in the middle of the whole team. Zhonya's popped. But Xanthi and the rest of the team just way too low to re-engage. Singularity just roll over this fight, ultimately go home with 2 inhibitors in the back, and maybe might just go to finish this game here. It's a little bit risky, though.
Yeah, I think they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they're definitely going to go for it. It's all onto Xanthi and Lenar. Can they hold the line? The first Nexus turrets fall. The slow lands onto Xanthi. And with that, Singularity says, okay, we got what we came for. Everything else would just be giving them another arm. We don't want that. So they're backing out. Almost 10k gold ahead now.
Yeah, they're going to go back. They're going to spend their gold they just got from that, and they're going to go and do the exact same thing in the top lane and go for that enable there. 3 inhibs go down, and then they'll just get the Drake, and then I think the game's just over. But we'll see if Invul can do anything about that. Obviously, if they do get the right team fight, then it works, and it works very well. They just need to use their stuns and use, the Ashe ult or the Leona ult or something to stop this spike ult, because Misfortune is ripping people apart, as we've seen in previous games.
The bullet time can be quite nasty indeed, especially if we look at those items right now. That's double penetration, that's a collector and the Lord Dominic's together with the IE.
Yeah, she's close to full build now. I don't know how much gold she has in the bank, but we're not coming down here. Oh, it just misses.
He's trying to capitalize on that one, doesn't quite get anything. Slice gets rooted up with the flag and drag, but the turnaround is good. The bullet time as well, though, slips already down to half, needs to ult out, but Xanthi is onto the chase, gets charmed up, and the turnaround is so good. Merkuza dives deep and gets taken out. Lofty trades one back. It's a triple kill for Spike, though. This Misfortune, we just mentioned how big she is. There we go, 4 kills, a quadra kill, and we might just see one of the first pentas, if not even the first penta of the Aurora Cup 2022. Or am I fried and this is a quadra?
It said ace.
By the way, I'm disappointed that we did not get any pop-ups. It's an ace, one way or another game for Singularity. Nexus down, Spike very happy with another fantastic game, and Sips, well, Dragon doing dragon things.
Yeah, another very strong performance we see from Misfortune. Singularity making sure they're the first 2-0 team in the group, and showing them everyone that they should be at the top of the group. So Invul struggling a bit. We're going to see if they can obviously call themselves as a second place team in the next games. But yeah, I think Singularity have to be very happy after, 2 out of 3 games on day one. So yeah, 2 out of 3 games.
Especially because they weren't quite regarded as the strongest team going into this group, right?
No, obviously people had different ideas of which teams were strongest, but Singularity, with kind of like a hosh posh of players together, they've played together for a while. But like we said, jungler and mid lane are not what should be there really. A coach and someone that doesn't really play, they're showing everyone that they should be there, and yeah, no one could question them after this really.
Absolutely. Singularity looking strong, but at the same time, Invulnerables, Lotus, quite honestly, putting on a much better performance than I personally expected, and sitting at 1-1 in the middle of the group. Next up, they are against Niriki, and that's going to be the last test of the day for them, basically. And I'm curious how that one is going to go.
Yeah, Nuriki obviously took the win against Viperio and lost against Singularity, so it's up to Invul and Nuriki to kind of choose who is going to be their second team in this group in terms of wins at the end of the day. I think the top lane again is going to be something to look at. We saw Fiora for the Nuriki top laner. I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. I forgot it. Yeah, Ramuka with the Fiora in the top lane. It was very strong. But yeah, I'm excited to see everyone in this matchup, and we get to see another fun game. So yeah.
Absolutely. The battle for second place is what we have coming up next. But of course, it is not the last game of the day. Last but not least, it's going to be Viperio versus Team Singularity. So seeing if the bottom team can actually upset the top dog, or if Singularity are going to nail down that first place at the end of the day. One action. Until then, I think we'll try to get another interview rolling. And while we set that up, we'll toss it to a quick break. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in just a second.